Buongiorno, welcome or welcome back to my channel. After testing thousands and thousands of fragrances, it's very difficult for me to absolutely fall in love with a fragrance at first sniff. But these fragrances, I definitely fell in love the first time I've smelled them, and they did not disappoint when I tested them on my skin. These are the fragrances in my collection I am still in love with. So I'm not going to talk about any fragrances that I maybe tested or even have on my wish list. I'm going to talk only about the fragrances that are currently in my fragrance collection, and most of them are there for quite a while. Let's start the list with the fragrance that just took my heart the first time I've smelled it. It was hyped by Demi Rowling, and I just remember the day and everything about it. I went to the counter of Lancôme to test it. The lady sprayed it at the beginning in the air, and I was like, oh my god, this is magical. I definitely need this fragrance, and I bought it actually immediately. This is Jasmines Marzipan from Maison Lancôme. The most beautiful jasmine fragrance I've ever smelled. Definitely worth the hype, worth the money, worth everything. It's just the most beautiful, floral, slightly woody, a little bit sweet, just amazing fragrance. My only complaint about this fragrance, and I know it's going to be the thing that you will love about this fragrance for a lot of you, is how loud it is. It's quite loud. So I can't wear it during summer. I only wear it during winter, and I wear it sparingly and never in closed environments, because I've noticed it just doesn't work. It is too loud, too strong. This is why my bottle is like, you see, almost full, because I don't need much and I can't wear it as much as I want or wish for. So love at first sniff, and still one of my absolute favorite fragrances. The next one I just adore. And it's the opposite of Jasmines Marzipan. This is just an easy-going signature scent, and I'm talking about Musc Noir Rose. I also totally fall in love with the original one. Loved the original one. Love at first sniff also for that one. But when this flanker came out, I just knew I had to get this one, and I actually decluttered the original one. This is just a masterpiece, a stunning fragrance. It has the signature musk of Narciso, but it's not like the rest of his fragrances where it's very upfront, very strong. A lot of people really struggle with the musk of Narciso Rodriguez. Here it's a little bit in the background, so you get it, but it's in the background. And you have this beautiful balance of fruity sweetness, vanilla, the floral touch. Oh, the musk, the plum note, the vanilla. It's absolutely stunning, elegant, easygoing, extremely versatile. You can wear this anywhere, anytime. It's the most versatile fragrance in my collection, and the closest I have got to a signature scent. A lot of you, and I also complained in my original review of this fragrance, you'll find it also in the description down below, that it didn't perform very well. It did perform better than the original one, but longevity and sillage was quite disappointing, let's say, with this fragrance. But let me tell you, it really becomes stronger with time. And I was not comfortable saying it until I mentioned that in a video, and a lot of you told me in the comments that you have the same experience. If you are looking for a signature scent that is extremely versatile, that is elegant and sophisticated, it cannot get better. Musc Noir Rose. The next one I think I don't mention a lot on my channel, and it is Oajan from Parfums de Marly. I first tested, again, I can just remember everything about the day I tested this fragrance. I received my package of the decants, so my monthly subscription, and I sprayed it. It was in the kitchen, and I sprayed, and I was like, I was so shocked how gorgeous this scent is, and it's still one of my absolute favorite fragrances of all time. This cinnamon, and I love cinnamon. This is, from all the fragrances that I've tested, the strongest in the cinnamon note. It is also sweet, there is honeys, it's an ambery fragrance. It is targeted to men, but let me tell you, it's totally unisex, even leaning feminine in my opinion. Do not worry at all that it comes in this bottle. And I knew right there that this fragrance has to be in my collection. It is 10 out of 10. I would not change anything about this fragrance. Everything about it is just perfection, and it is extremely long lasting and very good in projection. When I sprayed that fragrance in my kitchen, I could smell it the whole day, and I didn't like spray it in the air. I sprayed it on a blotter, and it stayed and lingered forever and ever and ever. It's not a true gourmand, but it has a gourmand touch. Love, love, love it. Highly, highly recommend it. You do not need much of this fragrance, as I said. Just 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Next, I have Chanel Eau Vive. This one I have to thank a lovely subscriber for, because I was sharing my thoughts, I think, on the Chanel Eau Fraiche, and a lovely subscriber told me, if you love Eau Fraiche, you will definitely love Eau Vive. You should try it. And I actually blind bought it, and I never looked back. Like, look at the dent, especially last summer. I just went crazy with Eau Vive. It was my favorite summer fragrance this summer, one of my most used fragrances, and I love it. And actually, I would say if I have to choose between Eau Vive and Eau Fraiche, I will go with Eau Vive. It's just beautiful. You have the signature musk of Chanel mixed with some florals, but mostly it's a zingy, citrusy fragrance that is fresh and invigorating and just stunning. I believe it's blood orange here, and it's just absolutely 10 out of 10. Elegant, but yet fresh citrusy fragrance. Very difficult to achieve in my opinion, but Chanel did it with this one. Love, love, love this scent. Next, I am not sure which one came first, so I'm just going to go with this Atelier des Ors Rouge Saray. I remember I got the discovery set of Atelier des Ors, and I was testing the fragrances and was very intrigued and wanted to smell a Lune Feline, and I thought this is going to be the fragrance that I'm going to absolutely love. And as usual, this happens to me with almost every brand. The most hyped, the most loved fragrance is not the one that I like. I absolutely fall in love with Rouge Saray. It is a loved fragrance from the brand, but not like Lune Feline. Oh, this is, it just, this fragrance just transports me to an atmosphere. So it brings me to winter, to Christmas tree, to fireplace, to feeling cozy. It's just one of my absolute favorite fragrances of all time. It's all about dates and guaiac wood. So you have the smoky, woody touch from the guaiac wood, and you have the sweetness, the sticky sweetness of the dates. And to me, it smells like sitting by the fireplace, and you have a plate of dried fruits and dates. And it's just so comforting and beautiful. Not a fragrance that I think a lot of people will appreciate because of this smoky touch, but I feel like it is the perfect contrast to give sophistication and to add something to a fragrance that would be otherwise extremely, extremely sweet. So beautiful. This is like the elevated version, not that they are similar fragrance, but I mean about the atmosphere. This is an elevated version of By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, in my opinion. I love also the brand. I recently did a buying guide. I will leave it linked down below on all the fragrances from Atelier des Ors. I have to say I don't use it much, as you can see, because it is a totally winter fragrance and I wear it in special occasions when I'm in a certain mood. But I can't tell you how many times I open this fragrance and smell it from the cap. Not that I am saying that this is not a wearable fragrance, don't get me wrong. It's totally very wearable unisex fragrance. But I am a person who doesn't wear heavy fragrances a lot, as you can see. This is the theme going on here. The next one, and now everyone who is waiting for it, La Danza delle Libellule. Again, I heard a lot about this fragrance, and I have to credit Amy from Amy's World of Fragrances, who talked about this fragrance, and I was like, this seems just like something that I would like. And I got a decant, and it is the same as Oajan. I sprayed it, and I was wowed. I thought, I just knew that I had to get this fragrance, and I can't get enough of it. I have to mention that they came out with an extrait version, which I've tested, and I do prefer it to the original one because it is stronger, so there is no issues with performance, and also has less of the base. It's more gourmandy in a way, but not too much. This is a cinnamon, apple, ambery, vanilla fragrance, and it's so beautiful. It has also some musk, and I love everything about this fragrance. I love apples, so it's not a surprise that I love this fragrance. It became the signature scent for my son's birthday. I don't know, it happened. I've wore it once. Like the first time I really wore this fragrance was for my son's birthday, and since then I just associate this fragrance with this occasion, and every single birthday I wear it. I don't wear it exclusively for that, but yes, I already finished 2 decants of it, and yeah, I love one of my absolute favorite fragrances. If you love cinnamon, you love apple, this is just the best. I love it. Next is a Changing Constance from Penhaligon. It was a while that a lot of people talked about this fragrance. It was almost too much. And from the way people described it, or YouTuber described this scent in particular, I thought that I'm not going to like it because I had the impression that it is just too sweet, too gourmand, but it's not. Oh my God. The cardamom here is just to die for. This is cardamom, vanilla, caramel. It's just a beautifully spicy, gourmand, sweet fragrance. It's not a true gourmand, so it doesn't smell like something you would eat. It's still a perfume. My only issue with it is the longevity and sillage. It is bad, like really, really bad. I think this is the most disappointing fragrance when it comes to longevity and sillage in my whole collection. And I don't care about longevity and sillage as much, but when you have these notes that should be quite strong, I have issues. I don't have issues with longevity and sillage when it comes to light fragrances that I know, like citrusy, fresh fragrances, because they are by definition not very long lasting or projecting. But if you have these kind of notes, I expect better performance. And I'm not looking for like a monster or a beast. I'm just looking about like for a decent longevity and sillage, and this doesn't give it to me, but I love the scent. Can't lie about it. I loved it, and although I knew about the longevity and sillage, I still got myself a bottle. This is how much I love it. It is in the same vibe as Armani Pervase Magenta Tanzanite, but it's more elegant. It has this airy aspect that Penhaligon has, this class. I love it for that, but I just wanted a little bit more longevity and sillage. And this is why I don't talk a lot about the fragrance, because it's very expensive. And yeah, I'm not feeling comfortable to recommend it, but it was love at first sniff, and still a fragrance that I absolutely love. Next fragrance I discovered while I was testing Italian brands. And some of you actually, I think, told me about it just a few days before filming the video. I don't remember exactly, but it was very, very close to when I filmed that video, and told me, you should definitely try this fragrance because you are going to love it. And you were right. I absolutely loved it. I smelled it and I was in love. This is Trussardi Vive di Milano, so it's a private collection from Trussardi, Limitless Shopping Via della Spiga. If you love an apple note, you will absolutely love this fragrance. Apple is just one of the notes that I absolutely love. It has sweetness from the honey note. It has tonka bean, some heliotrope. To me, it's a sweet apple with tonka bean. This is how I would categorize this fragrance. Very, very beautiful. Never tested anything like it, and yes, definitely recommend it. This one and La Danza delle Libelle, they are different fragrances, but if you love apple, you will love La Danza delle Libelle or Limitless Shopping Via della Spiga. The next one is another one that I have tested in my testing Italian brands, and I absolutely love the whole brand. Actually, stay tuned. Coming very, very soon. I already edited and filmed the buying guide on Milano Fragranze, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you didn't already. This is La Prima. This is a beautiful creamy white floral fragrance. It's jasmine, osmanthus, and vanilla. And what makes this fragrance quite unique is this Davana note. And usually I am not a fan of Davana, but it just works here. There is a little bit of cardamom, and it is one of my absolute favorite fragrances, if not the favorite fragrance when it comes to creamy white florals. It's just so beautiful. I have a lot of fragrances in the scent profile, but this one is just the best. Highly recommended. If you love bubblegummy, sweet white florals, definitely check this one. Amazing in performance, so no issues at all. The price, even the price tag of this fragrance is just right, so I highly recommend it. Next fragrance is Spiritus Double Vanille from Guerlain. I still cannot believe that it took me so long to test this fragrance. I had this idea that this is extremely sweet because it's the name, and the people who loved it were like into the sweet gourmands. But let me tell you, it is the most elegant, beautiful, sweet, but not too much, vanilla fragrance ever created. It has a little bit of a spiciness, there's pink pepper, a little bit of a smoky touch, just this hint. The whole composition is elegance in a bottle, and as I always say, Guerlain makes the most beautiful vanillas, and this is the best, hands down. Love it, worth every penny. It is the most gorgeous vanilla fragrance I've ever tested. My only issue with this fragrance is the performance, but it's not like as bad as Changing Constance, so it is for me okay, but I was wishing for something just a little bit more long-lasting and more projecting. But I think also from another perspective, if this fragrance was a little bit louder, so better in performance, I wouldn't have liked it as much as I do. Sometimes some fragrances need to have the right amount of like diffusiveness, of performance to be elegant and to have the right balance when it comes to the notes, to everything. I don't know if I'm making sense here. The best. Sometimes you do have to fall for the hype. The next one is one of the recent releases, I would say, from these fragrances. This is my Burberry Goddess. Everything about this fragrance would have said it's not for me. And actually, I was testing it out of curiosity more than anything, and I couldn't believe myself when I've smelled it, because it's one of the most seductive, alluring vanilla fragrances. It has a lavender note, and I am not a fan of lavender, and I'm not a fan of all the fragrances that have a predominant lavender note. Libre, what was the other one? Montguerlain. I'm not a fan of these fragrances at all. Even Libre, I would say I hate that fragrance. I hate how it smells. But there is something about this one that just makes the lavender actually complement the vanilla, makes it lighter. There's also a ginger note. I just love this fragrance, can't get enough of it. And it's now actually the season where I use it a lot. For me, it's an autumn fragrance. Everything about this one screams autumn to me. Performance is not the best, I have to say. And this is why I was so looking forward for the intense version, and it was a big disappointment. I have the full review of both of them linked in the description. You can watch it if you want. The patchouli note added, it was not good. Not good at all. But the original one, absolutely love it, and it's a compliment magnet. Next, another new release is Gabrielle Low. I was trying to remember if Gabrielle's Essence was Love at First Sniff, but it's one of the oldest fragrances in my collection. I've got it when it was just a new release, and I don't remember actually, so I decided to go for the ones that I am sure about, and it is Low. It was a blind buy and a very, very successful one. Oh my God, this scent is so beautiful. As a scent profile, I actually love this one even more than the Essence, but it's not as versatile, let's say, because this is just the perfect summer spring fragrance. I wore this one mostly in the morning, so when I went out, just gave a lift and elegance to my outfit, in my mind at least. You know, Chanel has this DNA that just is elegance in a bottle, and this is not an exception. I did expect a bad performance because it is low, but it's even lighter than that. So it's even lighter than an eau de toilette. So if I compare this one, to give you an example, with Chanel Chance au Tendre, the eau de toilette, it's lighter. And I have issues with it given the price tag. But I also love it as first fragrance to wear during the day. Usually, especially during summer, I love to alternate between fragrances. So the ones that I usually wear in the morning when I go out, when it's not too hot, so you have still a little bit of freshness in the air, is definitely totally different to the fragrance or my choice when it comes to the peaking hours, when it's very hot or sticky or humid. I do not gravitate even to these kind of fragrances. I just want my citruses and that's it. So I don't mind having a light fragrance, especially for these seasons, because I want something like that in the morning, and when I put my clothes on and I just, you know, complement my outfit. To sum up, I love this fragrance. Definitely too expensive for what it is, but the scent profile is absolutely stunning. Love, love, love the scent of it. I didn't tell you how it smells. I'm so sorry. It's a fresh musky. So again, you have the musk from Chanel with the most beautiful concoction of flowers. So you have white flowers mixed with some ylang ylang that gives it more girly and sweetness. I just love the scent. Highly recommend it. If you can get it on a deal, it is absolutely a stunner. Next is a Middle Eastern fragrance that I honestly didn't expect much of. And honestly, I went into Middle Eastern fragrances just not out of curiosity, but more of an idea for a video, if that makes any sense. And some were, as I expected, were cheap smelling, were not blended well. Some smelled just nasty in my opinion. And since then I've tested a lot. I did a second video and I am preparing for a third one, but still it's one that took my heart, that really surprised me. And even if I didn't know how much this fragrance cost, I would have said this is a very expensive fragrance, and the scent profile and everything about it just stunning. I am talking about Xerjoff Blend from Zemaya. It's a dupe of Angel Share from Kilian. Till now, I would say it's the closest dupe of Angel Share. The only thing that is missing is the boozy touch. And the sweetness, you can really smell it comes from the dates. But overall, this is the closest dupe of Angel Share. Very, very good performance. For example, comparing it to Khamra from Latafa, it smells just more luxe, more expensive, and overall better blended. But you have to be okay with dates. So it does have this very predominant date note. I don't mind it at all. You can smell also more nutmegs and cinnamons. This is the second difference that I would say is between Angel Share and this one. I can't tell you, but I'm almost saying that I do prefer it to Angel Share. I still can't decide, to be honest. I love it and highly, highly recommend it. If I have to choose one of affordable Middle Eastern fragrances, this is the one that I would recommend. It's so beautiful. Highly, highly recommended. Longevity, sillage, everything is perfect in this fragrance. Last one is the fragrance that I got myself for my birthday in October, and it is Allende from Xerjoff. It's again a vanilla fragrance, but it's totally different to the other vanillas that I've talked about, Spiritus Double Vanille and Burberry Goddess. Here there is no freshness, there is nothing to uplift it like in Burberry Goddess. There is not a smoky or even spicy touch like in Spiritus Double Vanille. This is just straightforward gourmand vanilla. Very simple and straightforward vanilla fragrance. And I would have never thought that I would fall in love with the scent profile. When in my video where I've tested Xerjoff, I just fall in love with it. It's one of the fragrances, when you first smell it from the cap, it can be a little bit too sweet if you don't like sweet fragrances. But when you spray it on yourself, after a while, you will get it more off your clothes than on your skin. And it becomes this very soft, cozy, vanilla, cacao, a hint of cacao fragrance. It's just so beautiful. I love it. I think it's one of the sweetest fragrances in my collection. But there is just something about it that it's not too much, and I can't explain how, although it's very sweet. Anyway, it's my favorite Xerjoff, if we exclude the Casamurati line. Definitely an expensive fragrance, and I would also say it's too expensive for what it is, honestly. But I still love it, and I was going back and forth for almost a year until I decided to splurge on myself for my birthday and get it. That was Allende from Xerjoff, and with this I've finished all the fragrances that I absolutely fall in love with. Love at first sniff. There is a lot of fragrances that I fall in love with, testing them, Some were masculine that just took my breath away, honestly. Just one that I remember because it's the most recent one was Intoxicated from Kilian. I also fall in love with a lot of fragrances that are on my wish list or my baby wish list. And one of them is Hormone J Levant or Levant. I don't know if it's French. I cannot stop thinking about that fragrance. Absolutely stunning fragrance. Worth hype for sure. And these were all my loves at first Sniff fragrances. Please tell me in the comments down below, what is the fragrance that you just smelled and knew it is for you? You have to get it in your collection. Looking forward to see your comments down below with all the beautiful fragrances that you fell in love with. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't already. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.